now we will move to the, let's say, a BLE application, a full BLE application. The idea here of this second demo is to start from scratch, starting from the chipset and build a full BLE application, somehow similar to what you will do if you build a PCB based on STM32WB0. So what we will do during this demo. So we will, as said, we will build a full BLE application named peer-to-peer server, a point-to-point communication between smartphone and our peripheral based on the WB09 in this case. So here, this as a PCB, we will use the Nucleo WB09, and we will generate all the BLE application using the STM32Cube IDE. We could have used CubeMX as well, but we will use Cube IDE. And in terms of smartphone application, we will use the ST-BLE Toolbox. This is a Bluetooth Low Energy debug app that is fully developed by ST, which is available for free on Google Play Store, Google Play Store and Apple App Store. The idea of this demo here is simply, as said, to establish a point-to-point communication using Bluetooth Low Energy. And for this, we will be able to control from the smartphone, we will be able to control LED that are available on the Nucleo board. And as well, we want to be able on the smartphone to receive a notification each time a button is pressed on the Nucleo board. So let's start. For this, we will use Cube IDE, the Cube IDE version, which also integrates a CubeMX plugin. The idea is to start from the graphical interface. We have the graphical interface of the Cube IDE CubeMX. We have three options. As explained by Dominique, we can start from example. This is exactly what you just done using the beacon. Or we can start at board level. At board level, in this case, boards that are well-known, that are recognized by Cube IDE are Nucleo board. It is useful if you want to prototype, evaluate on Nucleo board. Now, today, we will focus on the chipset level. The idea is to start from chipset. We select the chipset and we build our hardware configuration and our full application around the chipset. This is what you will do probably using your PCB, starting from scratch. When we start from scratch like this, we first select, using Cube IDE or CubeMX, we first select the chipset. Here we'll select WB0. And the first things we have to do is to initialize the hardware. Initialize the hardware means activate the crystal, select the crystal, select the correct pinout. Okay, here for our demo, select the pinout is select some I/O as output for the LED, some I/Os as input IRQ for the button, maybe some I/O dedicated to UART communication and so on. This is the first step. The second step is to activate some IPs. We need to activate some IPs, internal IPs, and configure some peripheral. Configure some peripheral is, for example, configuring the UART to output some logs. Or it's also some IPs that are mandatory to manage the Bluetooth Low Energy connection, like the random generator, PKS, such kind of things. Then we will configure the clock tree. Clock tree, okay. Here we decide, okay, what will be my clock speed, my CPU clock speed. Do I need, let's say, high power, or do I prefer to save some, let's say, to save some power consumption? This is all the hardware configuration. This is not the main focus of this demo. The main focus of this demo is to build a Bluetooth Low Energy application. So we will see how, using Cube IDE, we will be able to configure the advertising part, configure the service characteristic and all the stuff to manage our Bluetooth Low Energy application. And of course, we will manage some application code and generate the associated code to this application. So to save some time during this hands-on, so we already prepared a project file that initialize all these 3 steps, so peripheral, clock tree, and so on, to focus only on the BLE application. So this project file can be downloaded directly from GitHub. We put it on a public GitHub. That means that you can download it and replay and redo this exercise at all. There is no magic behind this already pre-made project. We do have an application note on st.com which explains step by step how to build and generate a code using CubeMX. We do have all the steps to manage. Okay, step by step. Okay, here it explains, for example, that for to build the BLE application, we need at least those 5 peripheral activated. And this is same. We have some information about clock tree and so on. So here I will simply import this already made IOC file. So here it is the step-by-step document that you will receive. And on my side, I will open STM32 CubeIDE. So I already import this file. So when I open this file, as you can see, I already have some GPIOs that are already initialized. I initialize this one as a LED, a GPIO output for a LED. Same for this one, same for this one. We have 3 LEDs. As well, we have the oscillator configuration, and we have the USART. That's all. That's all what we have here. Now, if we look to the associated code generated for this, basically, we have nothing. We have a .main file that simply initialize the clock tree, some GPIOs, and an infinite loop that is doing nothing. And then if we look to the code, the generated code, we only have some drivers, HL drivers, and that's all. And on this project, we will add the Bluetooth Low Energy connectivity, Low Energy application. So to add the Bluetooth Low Energy communication, the Bluetooth, a bit of let's say, explanation behind. Here, building the Bluetooth Low Energy protocol, we will define how to exchange data, but it will not define how to interpret data. And for this, we need to implement a profile, a Bluetooth Low Energy profile. Our profile can support one or many services. Each service can host one or many characteristics. So here, our profile will simply support one service. It will define how we will exchange data to control the LED and being informed of the switch of a button push. So we will create a custom service, peer-to-peer server. We'll name it peer-to-peer server. What is a custom service? There is 2 types of service and profile, proprietary or standard. If we are talking about standard profile means that this is the profile that is defined by the Bluetooth SIG Alliance. This is typically the heart rate profile. It ensures interoperability. Now, in most of use cases, you will not use proprietary profile. In most of use cases, you will use your own profile, what we call proprietary profile. It's quite easy to distinguish proprietary versus standard profile, standard service, standard versus proprietary service is the unique ID. Each service, each characteristic is identified by a unique ID, universal unique identifier, UUID. In case of a standard, this unique ID is 16 bits long, and the value is defined by the Bluetooth stick. Whereas in case of proprietary profile, we are having here a 128 bits unique ID. And this is the case here for the service we want to implement. This is a proprietary service, so I will use a proprietary unique ID 128 bits. Then on this service, I will add 2 characteristics. One to control the LED, one to receive notification for the switch. One more time, this each characteristic is having its own unique ID, 128 bits. It's still a proprietary implementation. Each characteristic can have different properties. Here, my LED, the LED, I want to be able from my smartphone to read the status of the LED, but I want to be able to control the LED. That's why these LED properties will have a read and write without response properties. Two properties, read and write without response. On switch side, switch characteristics, so the button, here all I want is my client, my smartphone, to be notified each time I push a button. That's why the properties will be notified. So thanks to this custom service, peer-to-peer server service, we will be able to control the LED and being informed of a switch. This is the basic of a point-to-point Bluetooth low energy communication. So let's implement this using CubeIDE. So here I will use this CubeIDE, the graphical interface, also available on CubeMX, and I will simply go into the STM32. Here I have the list of all peripherals. Some are already initialized according to the application note I shared. Here we have the STM32 BLE. I will remove the graphical place. As a BLE, I want to act as a peripheral. As a peripheral, typically a peripheral wants to share some data, to expose some data, and the client, the smartphone, wants to collect the data. So I will define myself as peripheral and GATT server application. Here I am. So I can first start by configuring the BLE advertising. I want to advertise. Here we start from scratch. There is no data for the. When Dominique explained the beacon, there was already some. You were started from examples, so fields were already filled for advertising. Here we start from scratch. So I will simply say, okay, I want to advertise my local name. So no, not the complete local name. My complete local name, and my complete local name, let's call it workshop WB0, WS_WB0. Here I will advertise my complete local name. As well, I want to advertise some manufacturer data. Remember, Dominique said we can advertise what we want as soon as we follow the specification. So here I will define an advertising type manufacturer, and I will say that I will advertise 12 bytes, and mainly one is interesting for us is the company identifier. I will send the ST Microelectronics company identifier. I configure my advertising. Now, in terms of configuration, here, I can select what is my advertising interval, what is my TX power. I can simply, using this graphical interface, I can select and configure my advertising. I can select, okay, what is my MAC address, public. We can select everything. I will change only one thing here. I will keep all default value except for this. This is the device name. I will use exactly the same as what I put for local name. This is simply because iOS and Android behave differently around the name when they scan a device. Android is using always the local name part of the advertising data, whereas iOS, after the first connection, is using the device name. So as a good practice, I'm using the same value for device name and local name. Then I got the same behavior and the same name on both iOS and Android. Okay, my advertising now is complete. I configure my advertising. Here, it's time to configure application and service. Configure application application and service. As said, I will simply say, okay, how many services do I have in my application? I have one service. So I would just tell, okay, I want one service. And immediately I have a new panel here, which is service one configuration. Service one configuration, as said, we are using a proprietary. So I need to proprietary service. So I want to select 128 bits. So I need to fulfill here the 128 bits. For this, let's be more efficient. On the GitHub page, at the same place where I put the .ioc file you can download, we can also directly copy paste unique ID from here. So let's copy the service unique ID and put it here. Then I need to give a name to this service. Let's call it peer-to-peer server, point-to-point server. I will use the same name for here for long and short name. The short name is the one that is used at code generation. It will give the name of the C file. So we should get a peer-to-peer underscore server.c after code generation. Then we need to define, okay, on this service, I want to host two characteristics. Two characteristics, one for LED, one for button. So let's click on two. I select two characteristics. Immediately, I have two new fields, one to configure characteristic one, one to configure characteristic two. So I will configure first the LED. So the LED, similarly to the service, I need to collect the unique ID for LED. One more time, it's already there. Let's copy it from here. This is the unique ID we define in our proprietary profile. Okay. I need to give a name to this characteristic. So the long name here will be used during code generation in the command section. Whereas the short name here I'm entering will be used in the code. This will be the name of the characteristic in the code. So here the value, the length of this characteristic is 2 bytes. And the property we said write without response and read. My smartphone want to read the status of the LED and want to be able to write the status. And then I will deactivate the application response to simplify a bit. Okay, my LED characteristic is now configured. So let's move to my button. Exactly the same. I need to collect the unique ID for the button. In your final application, you will use, of course, your own unique ID. I need to give a long name. Let's use the same format. And here, okay. I think I use uppercase for the button. Let's do the same. Okay. The length is as well 2 bytes for here. 2 bytes, okay, variable, not so much important, but, and here in terms of properties, what is key is to say, okay, this is, the property is notified. I want my smartphone to be notified each time I will press the button, and let me deactivate application response. I'm done. I configure the advertising, I configure the full BLE profile. I can see here that I have a small warning regarding platform setting. Is by default, this STM32 BLE middleware offers the possibility to output some logs. So we have the possibility to select, okay, where to output some logs. I can select, it is optional, of course. I can select the UseArt and use the UseArt one, which is already defined. So now I'm done. I configure everything. So I can save my file. And here, when saving this graphical file, project file, it asks me to generate the associated code. Click on yes. Of course, I can also use, there is a specific icon to generate the code here if you click on this wheel. So code is under generation. If it's the first time you are generating the code, a project WB0 code, most probably the Cube IDE will connect automatically to a server to download the Cube firmware package. It may take longer. Okay, code, we can see that code is moving on the project on the left side. I can see now that already I have some new folder. I have a STM32 BLE folder. I have a middleware folder here. If I open the middleware folder, I can see now that on this middleware folder, I have a middleware with here, I can see the BLE stack. That means that the Bluetooth low energy stack has been included into my project. If we look to the main.c file versus what we were having before, now we can see that in the infinite loop, we have the process of our function with all generated files that are having the app underscore something means that it is application code, full application code. And here, if we go to the STM32 BLE part, we have this app.ble.c. This is the entry file. App.ble means the application, Bluetooth application. So this is your code for Bluetooth application. Then we have the peer-to-peer server underscore app. This time, this is the application code related to the specific service, here to the specific service peer-to-peer server. And then we have the peer-to-peer server.c. This is the file that is managing our peer-to-peer server service. So let's move. Let's move now, opening the app.ble.c. If we open the app.ble.c, we can see here, for example, that the device name is now equal to workshop WB0, that the advertising data has been, the advertising data field has been updated according to the setting we set using Cube IDE. But now, it's not over. It's not over because we need first to decide when to advertise. Remember, advertising, it's an application decision. So I need to advertise. I need to put myself in advertising mode. So I need to add some application code to move into advertising. For this, when I will copy paste the line from this GitHub. When do I need to advertise? I need to advertise at the end of the initialization. Once my device is, once we terminated the initialization of our Bluetooth application, we can start advertising. And here we have this app.ble init function. This is the initialization of our Bluetooth low energy application. So I can say that at the end of this function, in the user code section, when I finish all initialization, all service initialization, I can say, okay, start advertising. The second place where I need to advertise is when I'm disconnected. When I'm disconnected, the smartphone, I disconnect, I finish my current connection. I want to be visible again to accept a new one. So when I will receive from the Bluetooth stack an event for disconnection, so when the Bluetooth stack will tell my application, okay, you have been disconnected, simply, I will start again advertising to accept a new connection. And then now we can advertise, we can connect our application. So one thing remaining is to manage application code. So here in application code, each time we will manage in the application code for the peer-to-peer server. Each time the smartphone will write into the LED characteristic, I want to be informed first, and then I want to toggle the LED and switch on the LED if I receive this write into LED characteristic. Here, this is what I want to do. When I will receive from the Bluetooth stack an event saying, okay, write without response into the LED C characteristic. Remember, this is the name we put in the cube ID. In the LED C characteristic, if someone writes into the LED characteristic, I will toggle all the LEDs. Okay. And similarly, here we have the notification for the button. I will not do all the code for the button. This is exactly the same, and you will receive afterwards the step-by-step document to reproduce this. So I'm done. I configure everything. I configure everything. I configure everything. I put the application code. So it's time to build. So I press the hammer here to start building my application. While building this application in parallel on my desk, I put this Nucleo WB09 simply connected to my laptop directly, because behind we have the onboard ST-Link that allows to flash and debug. And in my setup here, I have a smartphone. I have my smartphone here to check if everything is working as expected. In the meanwhile, for more visibility, I will mirror my smartphone. Okay, build behind is ongoing. It can take a few seconds, especially the first time. Okay, we are close to the end now. So hopefully I should get no error, no warning. Okay, link. We are at link stage now. So okay. Okay, no error, no warning. So I succeed to build my application. It's time to test my application. So I will do exactly what you've done with Dominique previously. So I will simply click on Run, Flash and Run. As it is the first time, he asked me, okay, which .elf to use. So let's use this one. And here, okay. Okay, now to run this, it should connect to my board and flash. Okay, so I'm going here on the LED. Here I have Here I have some LEDs. We can see some LED activity. Here it indicates that the ST-Link is having some activity because the flash is ongoing. Here I get a message. Download verified successful. If you can see on the log below my mouse pointer, download verified successfully. So my board is flash. So I'm mirroring my screen for more visibility. So I will open the ST-BLE toolbox. I can see many devices, including mine. Remember, when we decide, we put some advertising manufacturer data. I put some specific data. And here I'm advertising the ST manufacturer ID. So I can simply even filter on ST device. So, and I got only one. So this is my device, definitely. I can connect to it. Okay. Here I have 3 services, 2 generic services that are not visible that are hidden on iOS, but visible on Android. But whatever, we have this service, the peer-to-peer server. So I will open the peer-to-peer server here. My peer-to-peer server, which is okay, having a specific icon and for LED, button, and so on. Why? Simply because the ST-BLE toolbox implements the peer-to-peer server. So the BLE toolbox recognize the specific ID for the service, the specific ID for the LEDs, and the specific ID for the button. That means that it can allow to display some nice button. But at the end, if I toggle this button, simply I will write into the LED characteristic. So on my board here, I have 3 LEDs, and if I toggle here, I can see that the LEDs are toggling on my board. That means that from my smartphone, I'm able to control the LED. So good. In few clicks, let's say 30 minutes, 20 minutes, we succeed to build from scratch a Bluetooth low energy application. So let's switch back to the slide. So I said you have the step-by-step here to rebuild this at home. You will receive this step-by-step document to rebuild everything, including the code for the button as well. So as you can see here, the WB0 is fully integrated into the STM32 CubeIDE environment. That makes that it's quite easy to build, starting from scratch, your own application. As you can see, you have access to all settings using graphical manner, using a user-friendly look and feel. So I invite you to redo this because this is exactly, it reflects what you will do as a customer. This is a typical journey starting from scratch to build your own BLE application. So thank you. This is the end of this second demo.